Alright, here we are back with another how-to video. Today's going to be a Callisto. I've done Callistos in the past, but this is a Callisto that we've been developing in the Home Task Force. How to use it with Bullit. And today, I'm in a hop doing a massive attack and run across the Callisto. We already have several of these Callisto hits up on the Task Force channel at Valkyrie Will. But I don't have one with commentary about how you do it in the strategy, which is really simple. So if you know the typical Callisto strategy, you know, as the wrap. So you're going to do the same walk as the wrap. Let me get my writer out, screen right. So, of course, as always, when you can, you're going to go over here to the left and eat these power cells for some GBE. But it's really not necessary on this strategy because with Bullit, we're going to make this a no shock Callisto. We're not going to have to shock any defenses. So we're going to unload down here like you would on any other. And whenever your troops are at the bottom left of the beach, as usual, the first flare spot with the hero is going to be right here in this corner. Make sure you put it right up against the wall, and if you do that, your girls will make this path and walk 2 by 2 and converge together right here. But here's where it gets important when you're approaching this flare. Your hero is going to be out in front of your girls a little bit. Now, after this flare spot, your next one is going to be up here in this gap, the typical spot up here in this gap in between the flamethrower and the mortar, right on the wall. And you need to put that right on the wall. And you need to throw that flare about, your hero is going to be waiting right here at the flare point, right here at the bottom of this mortar. Now, about when your girls get maybe just past this power cell, right up in here, you need to get this flare landed. So your hero takes off ahead of your girls. So the sequence that you'll do it in, let's get all of this erased and zoom, discard this, and we'll zoom a little bit closer to the core because this is where all the action takes place. Get zoomed in right in here. Okay, get the screen right back out so we can make drawings. Okay, so your flare, you're going to have a flare right here, and your hero is going to be right here at the flare. Whenever your girls are passing this last power cell, you need to chunk this flare up here in the gap because you don't want them to catch up to your hero before he takes off moving. So the order you're going to do this in, you're going to, number one, throw this flare. Immediately, as fast as you can, swap to smoke and throw your final 2 smokes in a row. In this order, 1, 2, in a row. Now, as soon as you throw your second smoke, you need to swap to shock as fast as you can and throw a shock bomb and get Bullit shocked right around in here. You want to shock him when he's somewhere around the second or third cannon, and let the girls pass him. Now the girl Bullit is going to be shocked somewhere in this area, and your girls are going to pass him and keep going up in here around this in this gap. Now you just want to watch the shock timer that you have on Bullit, because the shock timer, whenever your shock timer is about to run out, flare the core. If you don't flare the core before his shock timer runs out, he's going to run up here with your girls and attract doom, death and doom. Nothing good will happen. But as soon as the shock timer is getting ready to expire, flare the core and get a flare on the core. That will anchor Bullit, your hero, down low, and your girls will be up here with a good bit of separation, and you're going to hit the taunt. Now, you know, whenever he's taunting, whenever he's maxed, he only takes 100 hit points. 100 hit points per shot. So all of these boom cannons and these cannons below and these mortars, he does what 12? Yeah, he does 12 tiles of taunt. So all of these mortars will be taunted, firing at him. All of these cannons will be taunted, fire at him. These 3 flamethrowers will be taunted, shooting at him past your girls. And this flamethrower will touch you up a little bit, but not bad. It doesn't matter. And all of these rockets are all going to be firing just on your hero and not at your girls. And then you just keep hitting taunt. You have to just make sure you don't let taunt any gaps in your taunts, because even for a split second and one of the flamethrowers burps on your girls or a mortar fires or a rocket, you know the attack's over with. So they say it lasts 8 seconds, but since they don't have a timer on it, like they do the hack and some things to make it convenient, I just count to 5 in my head and taunt. Count to 5 and taunt, because it's really cheap on GBE. And another thing to remember that we have found in doing these attacks, all of our attacks with Bullit that we've been developing, like the cooker ring clear you've seen and a few more, is if there's a shock blaster around, shock blasters need to be shocked. If you don't shock blasters, it's quite easy to let the taunt get a little bit of gap in it, in between one taunt or another, while he's shocked. So that being said, let's look at it in real time on this Callisto, 229 Callisto on massive attack, clearing some mines. I think I'll spend one more artillery to get the 2 mines up top, just to save a couple of more girls. And then I didn't bother getting GBE because, see, I'm in a hop. And if you don't just spam the attack button, you won't get to attack the map you want. And I seen that shock blaster up there, and rather than scouting its range and worrying about it, I didn't need any GBE. So now, right as soon as our girls reach this bottom flare, we're going to flare up. So now the flare should be going. There it goes. Delay the hero. I delayed him just a tad. Now you don't have to. And now it's just make the walk without getting roasted, which can be one of my weaknesses sometimes. Okay, now watch. Smoke, and then immediately shock, and let the girls walk past him, and then we're watching the shock timer. Before the shock timer expires, we flare the core to keep him in place, and then hit taunt. Then you can see all the rockets and cannons and mortars, and he's got the flamethrowers taunted. And just keep the taunt going, and the girls are going to take down the core. And this is a no shock Callisto solo with no shocks. Core is dead. I don't remember if I showed you guys the health of this one before I began the attack, so we'll go back and do a scout so we can look at the health. And that's about 2 million. 2 million Callisto is all this one was, which they, of course, you know, they get a lot bigger. But I had about 90, I think I had 80 or 90 GB in the bank whenever I took this one down, so I was good for many more taunts. And that's how to do it with Bullit on a Callisto. Thanks for watching.